Why do clothes shrink in the dryer? Hi, welcome to Curious Kids Every Day. I'm Josh. How are you doing today? It's so good to hear from you. Hey, have you gotten a brand new shirt recently? What color was it? Did it have a cool design on it, or was it just a plain shirt? Have you ever tried on a new shirt and it felt a little big on you? And then your mom said, "Oh, it'll shrink." What? Shrink? What does she mean by that? How is a shirt going to shrink? But then one day you realize, hey, this shirt does fit much better now. It really did shrink. How on earth do clothes shrink? I was thinking about this question because I got an email from a curious kid named Atarva. Atarva wondered, why do clothes shrink in the dryer? Is that where it happens? In the dryer? And why would drying your clothes make them smaller? Let's figure it all out today. Now, how does it feel when you touch a t-shirt? Feels solid and smooth to me. But let's pretend we're zooming in really, really close on that t-shirt. What do we see? We see that clothes are made of thousands of tiny threads called fibers. These fibers are twisted together, stretched out, and woven tightly to make fabric. When clothes are brand new, many of those fibers are still pulled tight from how the fabric was made at the factory. Now let's talk about shrinking, because there are three main things that cause it: water, heat, and movement. Let's start with water. When you wash clothes, when you put the clothes in the washing machine, well, do those fibers stay dry or do they get wet? They get very, very wet. And water relaxes the fibers. Think of it like this. Look at your hands, and I want you to stretch out your fingers as stretchy and tall as they can get, okay? Stretch, 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 and now relax them. What happened when you relaxed your fingers? Yeah, everything kind of got smaller, didn't it? It all came closer together. That's kind of what's happening when your t-shirt is in water. The fibers loosen up a little bit when they're wet, but they usually don't shrink very much yet. The biggest change usually happens in... where do you think? Yep, the dryer. Now, what are the two big things that happen to clothes in the dryer? Do you know? They get really hot and they get spun. They're spinning, they're tumbling over and over again. Heat gives the fibers energy to return to their natural shorter shape. And at the same time, the spinning, the tumbling, it twists and bumps the fibers around while that tightening is happening. So if a fiber was stretched long when the shirt was made, the heat helps it snap back closer to its original size. Think of it kind of like a rubber band. The rubber band is stretched out, but when you release it, it's pulled inward. It gets smaller. When thousands of fibers all do that at the same time, the whole shirt gets smaller. That is shrinking. Natural fibers shrink the most. Things like cotton or wool or linen. They're especially famous for this. Their fibers loosen when they get wet and then tighten when heat is added. And some clothes shrink mostly the first time they're dried. After the fibers settle into their natural size, they don't have as much shrinking left to do. So, when your mom says, "Oh, that shirt will shrink," what she's really saying is, the fibers are stretched right now, but heat in the dryer is going to help them tighten back into their natural size. Hopefully it still fits you when it's all said and done. Now, did you know that some clothes are labeled pre-shrunk? And I always wondered what that meant, but now that I understand why clothes shrink, it makes more sense. Pre-shrunk clothes, that means that the fabric was already heated and relaxed at the factory, so it won't shrink much at home. Pretty interesting. So if you see the label pre-shrunk, now you know what that means. Okay, let's have a quick quiz. What are the tiny threads that make up fabric? We call them fibers. Which machine causes the most shrinking? Is it the washer or the dryer? Yep, it's the dryer. And what two things in the dryer make clothes shrink? The heat and all that tumbling, all that spinning. Let's play true or false. True or false? Clothes are made from tiny fibers. That is true. True or false? Water causes the most shrinking. That is false. It's the heat and the tumbling. True or false? Natural fibers like cotton shrink more than many synthetic ones. That is true. Did you know that cotton comes from plants? Isn't that interesting? True or false? Shrinking happens because fibers return closer to their natural size. That is true. Would you rather wear a shirt that shrank too small or a shirt that stayed way too big forever? I would always rather wear a shirt that's too big on me. Shirts that are too small, those are not comfortable. It's too tight. All right, let's play a couple of rounds of What Am I? What am I? I spin around. I'm really hot. And I can shrink things. What am I? That would be a dryer. All right, here's one more. What am I? I come from plants. I'm soft and breathable. And I'm a fabric that shrinks easily. What am I? I am cotton. All right, you guys want to play one more game? Let's play Would It Shrink in the Dryer? I'm going to name something, and you tell me, if you put this thing in the dryer, would it shrink? What about a cotton t-shirt? Oh yeah, we just talked about that. Cotton fibers tighten when heat is added, so cotton shirts often shrink. What about a wool sweater? Yes, a lot. Wool fibers tighten and lock together with heat and movement. What about a plastic rain jacket? No, plastic doesn't have fibers that tighten like fabric does. What about a polyester sports jersey? Probably not much. Polyester is a man-made fiber that holds its shape better in heat. What about this one? One more. What about a pair of cotton socks? Oh, did you hear the word cotton? Yep, it does shrink in the dryer. That's why socks sometimes feel tighter after laundry day. Well, the next time a shirt comes out of the dryer smaller than before, you'll know exactly why. The fibers relaxed, tightened, and settled into a new shape. That's why most times you buy a shirt, you're always taking a little bit of a guess. Is this still going to fit me after I wash and dry it? I hope so. What kind of question do you think we'll ask tomorrow on Curious Kids Every Day? I can't wait to find out. So until then, keep asking questions and stay curious, kids. And we've got a couple of birthdays today. Jake is from Tennessee, and Jake is turning 5. Happy birthday, Jake. You live in the same state as me. And Greta is from Missouri, and Greta is turning 6. Happy birthday, Greta. To all the grown-ups listening, if your curious kids want their birthdays mentioned on the show, please visit supportcuriouskids.com and join the Curious Kids Club. That's supportcuriouskids.com. See you tomorrow.